has successfully owned and operated many companies in a variety of industries. This is Local Biz Now. Because your business matters.
And you are listening to the #1 talk business show in all of North Carolina. This is Joe Vagnone, and you are listening to News Talk WSIC, 105.9 FM, 100.7 FM, 1400 AM. I am Joe Vagnone. This is Local Biz Now, and if it's Friday morning, your business matters. We hope that we can inspire, inform, and entertain you for this entire hour. I promise you that's going to happen here today. We have a special edition of Local Biz Now. We have flown in all the way from Greenville. You know, the expert is always the person that comes from out of town. So we have that. Most of you who are friends of the show know this gentleman. He has been a friend of the show. He's been a friend of small business in our area, and he has delivered more times than I can remember. When I call and ask him to help, he's always there to do that. We are going to spend the entire hour with business ethics expert, keynote speaker, consultant, author, and one of my, whether he will admit it or not, good friends and managing partner of Primo Productions, a production video marketing company that is second to none. And we're hoping you're going to learn a whole bunch of stuff about a whole bunch of stuff from a really super cool dude, which is Chuck Gallagher. Chuck, my friend, thank you for being here, buddy.
Joe, I watched you, and I don't think you took a breath that whole time. You have more diaphragmatic breath control than anybody I think I've ever seen. Man, I am impressed.
Let me just say this for the people that don't know. I met Chuck Gallagher years ago from one of our co-hosts. I was looking for a speaker for one of our small business events. We did not know each other. I called him and asked him if he could do his speaking event. Now, you understand, Chuck gets paid thousands of dollars to speak. And I called him, and in my normal Joe approach, I said, hey, listen, have I got a deal for you?
Oh, yes. That's exactly what you said. And I knew it was going downhill from there.
And when it was over with, clearly he knew he was going to get nothing for the speaking engagement, have to pay for his own transportation, pay for his own lunch, right? And he still said yes because he wanted to help small business in the area, and because a friend of his, another friend of the show, Steve Gilliland, said, I'm sure that Chuck, no, I'm sorry, that was the other way around. I apologize for that.
No,
I apologize for that.
I don't know. That might be true. Steve might have been the introducing factor for us. I think he was.
Well, both of you two introduced me to both of you. I don't remember
I think
exactly
it's kind of
how that
like
worked.
we're frickin' frack, okay?
That's right.
He's the more important frick, and I'm the frack, just so we're clear.
The bottom line is, Chuck, you have for years been honoring us with your speaking engagements, and it was just absolutely unbelievable. I mean, for years after the event, people were still coming up to me saying, who was that guy? He was just phenomenal. And you've been delivering ever since then, buddy. Thank you so much.
Well, yeah, hey, listen, first, it was a real pleasure. I've got a heart for small business. I've been a small business person for a long, long time, and that's the backbone of the country. So, to the extent I could help, it was a great honor. I appreciate it.
And I think that's one of the reasons why you and I get along, right? Other than you like picking on me. Right. But you and I, we kind of see the world through the eyes of what can I do to make it better? How can I change it just a little bit? Right. And we sort of have this intentional way of looking at life and business and moving through it. Right. And,
yes.
And I think that's why you and I just kind of got this connection.
Well, plus I'm just enamored with a guy that has a radio show. I mean, it's
Right.
Something I've always aspired to do. Gosh, Joe, and never broken through there.
Let me be clear. Friday mornings, I'm in charge. Now, I want you to be perfectly clear here. I'm in charge. You see all those buttons over there?
You don't know a thing about it. Don't even try to front me on that, Joe. Engineers looking like,
Isaiah,
what?
He's defending you well this morning, right?
Thank you.
I'm just hoping you get something from McDonald's later today. Just saying.
Okay. enough with the silliness. Chuck, you are a sincerely genuine person, and I thank you so much for everything that you've done. I want to talk a little bit about you personally. I cannot have a conversation about Chuck Gallagher without starting with the story in which you tell yourself. I love to tell people you're my favorite convict. Thank
you so much. That should be a TV show. My favorite convict.
My favorite convict. You'd be great at a TV show. You'd be great at it.
Maybe we should do that.
But it's not the story of what you did, because I despise what you did, right?
Yeah. So do I.
Especially as a business person. But I love the way you picked yourself back up and started to reinvent yourself. And you've done that since I've known you for years, over and over again. So talk just briefly about probably one of the worst moments in your life. Certainly one of the worst decisions in your life.
Okay. Back in the 80s, I was tax partner in a CPA firm. Testified before Congress, wrote articles in national magazines, taught continuing education courses, 30 states. Life was great. Upward trajectory. But I was stupid. I could not manage my own money. I had way too much debt. And in a moment of weakness, embezzled money from clients. And I paid it back. But then I did it again. And I paid it back. And then I found out it was easy. And look, Joe, this is the easiest way to put this for people that will be repulsed by what I just said. If you get on 77 or 40, you've got a car that can exceed the speed limit. You got to get from point A to point B, and y'all going to lie to me if you tell me you don't do 5 to 10 over.
Well, you said something to me that was interesting, because, one of the reasons why I despise what you did, because I had a secretary that years ago stole over $20,000, and it harmed me, and I felt this personal. I can't even describe it, the treachery that happened when somebody you trusted takes something from you. So
Yeah.
Believe me, I see no positive in that
Right.
you doing that,
The
right?
feeling of broken trust was more significant to you than the dollars she took.
Absolutely.
I understand that completely.
But then I asked you, I said, Chuck, how do I prevent that from happening in the future? And you said, don't put your employees in the position that they even have the opportunity. And that was interesting to me, because when I look back, you're right. I gave her the statements. I gave her the checks. I let her reconcile the bank statements, right? You know what I mean? And write the checks. All I had to do was sign them, and all she did was easily sign my name, right?
Sure.
So I put her in a position that I should not have done. That's an interesting way to look at that.
Well, here's the thing. Let me be really candid. Most everybody by nature is honest. Most everybody will do the right thing. Most everybody will do the ethical thing until something happens in life that triggers you. And when you are triggered, if I sat here today and took a snake out from under the table and set it here, this room would clear.
Right.
Okay, that would be a triggering moment. So as human beings, human psychology is, when we're triggered, we will do stupid things. And if you get by with doing stupid things, you'll just do them more. So as a small business person, here's the deal. Trust, but verify. So if you walk in and you own a car dealership, or you own I don't care what it is, it doesn't make any difference, any small business in your listening area, but if you walk in and hand the bank statement unopened or the credit card statement unopened to the office manager, what you're in essence saying is, I completely, totally trust you, and they will honor the trust until something happens and they find out you've given them the opportunity to break that trust. So don't give the opportunity. If nothing else, Joe, if you opened the bank statement and then handed it opened to that person, you may never have even looked at it. But the fact that it was open infers you are paying attention.
And that's really important. And somehow, Chuck, you moved past that, right?
Yeah.
You are now executive vice president of a firm that trades on the stock market.
Yeah.
How'd you get to that?
Okay.
without somebody running a red flag.
Okay, so let me say this in the first place. Number one, after I did the stupid things that I did and then spent time in federal prison as a result of it, when I got out, I was not going to be an accountant again.
That's right. That's right.
I'm just saying. There's no question about that. Mom always said death and taxes. I screwed up taxes, so I started selling cemetery property door to door. And I mean, in the South, when you knock on somebody's door and say, at some point in time, you got to die. You need a place to put your old dead body. And they say, we've been talking about that. Why don't you come in and have some sweet tea? It's on. Okay.
Right.
Well, here's the reality. The reality was someone gave me a chance. And I took the chance and I became the best at that. And every time you are the best at something, new opportunities will present themselves.
And let's take a break. And
Sure.
you, Chuck, find opportunities and keep reinventing yourself, right? I see that happening over and over again. We come back, I want to talk about some of that.
Okay.
You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone. If it's Friday morning, your business matters. We'll be right back.
Joe, it's amazing. You have such breath control.
Let me just warn you. We are live on the book right now, even though we're not live on the radio. So I don't want you picking on me live on the radio.
You don't.
Isaiah, just turn off his mic. I don't want the man picking on me during the live. I want him to say something pleasant.
Turn off his mic or your mic?
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Chuck, you got a friend. You got a friend in Isaiah.
That's right. You got a friend in me. Man, if it was later in the day, I might be able to sing. Not now.
Okay, so when we come back, I've got like 3 personal questions I wanted to ask you. And then I want to get into the business stuff, okay?
It's your world, buddy. I'm just
But don't spend a lot of time on it.
Okay.
Okay?
I will. I'll be really
Because this hour
long.
will burn by quickly.
I understand that. I got you, buddy.
Okay. And then we're going to get into it.
Sounds good.
Okay, Isaiah, if you can get a good shot of my poster behind Chuck for the people at the on the book, so that they can, that's the real Chuck, not Chuck, but the people.
I see where this is going, right? I totally get this. I'm the guest, but it's about Joe's poster. Yeah, there we go.
That is the only time, Chuck, we have used that poster in 2 years.
I think it's great. I mean, I am there. It's wonderful. Yeah, there we go.
Oh,
Joe, I always knew you had a big head, but now, gosh, my head's about as big as your head in that poster. That is sad.
Okay, now, Chuck, I need to warn you. It's
Yes,
a
sir.
thing we do.
Uh-huh.
When I say,
All right, here we go.
oh, you got to say your business matters. So you got. And we are back. You are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone. This is the #1 talk business show in all of North Carolina. Let me prove it to you. We've been doing this show over 10 years and have well over 800 small business owners and community leaders interviewed. We have well over 400 videos in my brand new sexy YouTube channel. I'm sure we're going to get to talk about that. I got 68 subscribers. I sure would like one more today. And you can watch us live on the book and participate in the show if you would like to do that. And I love saying, get ready, Chuck, get ready. If it's Friday morning,
Your business matters.
yeah, let's get started. So, Chuck, before we dig into your business, I wanted to ask you a couple of things. You and I have been friends for a while, but I haven't asked you these questions. Can you describe how you see success? Because every time I think you've succeeded, you do something else. I'm curious, what does success look like to you?
Creating a positive impact on the people that you come in contact with. That's success. Before prison, for me, success was the car, the watch, the clothes, the house,
Right.
etc.
Right.
Once you have a different perspective, you realize success has nothing to do with the external. Nothing wrong with external, but it really does have an impact when you make a positive impact on other people. And they did that for me. I want to pay that forward.
And let me tell you, buddy, over the years, you are doing that to people. You are making a difference, and you may not know that, but people like Julie and I see that when we ask you to stand in front of people and speak.
I appreciate that. Thanks.
So, well, okay, this is a question I ask every small business person whenever I'm allowed to officially bring out the. We have the.
Oh wow, paper.
The official. We use paper around here. Official, verified question by the one and only Julie. Everybody needs a Julie.
A Julie question.
Here's the Julie question. I like to ask people: describe the biggest business mistake you ever made, and how'd you work through it?
Oh my goodness! Now, Joe.
So for you, would it be the whole problem?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, just absolutely violating every moral, ethical tenet that you can imagine that sends you to federal prison. That's the business mistake.
Right.
Made plenty of them.
And
but
normally
that's
when we ask this question, we're not expecting that, right?
I wouldn't expect. Right.
Like my story is, I bought a juicer machine. Isaiah loves to hear my story of the juicer machine.
I see.
I won't describe that now.
I brought an air fryer, but I've never used it.
That's
just so we're clear.
That's right.
But Jeff Bezos appreciates the fact that I bought an air fryer.
There you go. You get that. Okay. So let's try and do this. So one of the things I've noticed, and you're sitting here because I asked you to come talk with me today. You sent out a video on how to get more subscribers to YouTube because I got 68 subscribers. I've been doing this for 10 years. I got 68. I listened to your YouTube channel, and you told me you had well over 1,000.
Well, a little over 6,000, but
6,000.
Who's counting?
Who's counting? I'm counting.
Right.
How do you get 6,000 and I get 68?
Okay, so Joe, first thing, everybody listening to this, go to YouTube, search Joe Vagnone, and everybody just hit subscribe, make a comment on his videos.
Please.
Show Joe some love here on June 16, 2023. One, you beg, okay? Just saying.
Okay, I thought I've been begging lately, but I guess I got to get better at begging.
Well,
okay.
I can be your beggar.
Okay.
But
that's not the tactic you had on your video.
No, the thing is, part of it is becoming intentional. Okay? Let's be really practical for just a moment. If you want to be found in business, how is that going to take place? Well, people are going to likely Google you, or they're going to go to YouTube, which is the number 2 search engine in the country, which, by the way, happens to be owned by Google. So if you want to game the system, pardon the way I put it, but that's what I'd call it, you got to feed the beast. Which means you have to understand what are they looking for, what kind of content do they want, and then begin consistently putting that content
And when
out.
you say they, in my case,
Google,
it's my
YouTube.
buyer profile, that is.
Well, it's YouTube. It's not your buyer profile. It is
Oh.
what is YouTube want.
Okay.
So let me give you a quick example. In my channel, I know that the optimal time for me to post a video is 6 a.m. or 6 p.m. Any other time of day, I'm going to get less views. So every time I post a video, I will post it at optimal time, meaning I get more views because that's when my audience is looking. Okay?
Interesting.
So I know what the analytics are. I pay attention to them. And in addition to that, I am watching or looking at what are people asking. You represent small businesses. You help people buy and sell small businesses. What are the questions? Because those are what your videos need to be about.
Chuck, here's my problem. I and most of us small business people did not get in business so we can be famous and be on YouTube, you understand. Matter of fact, when I started business, I didn't even know there was a tube.
There
You
probably wasn't.
There probably wasn't.
Because, Joe, you and I are old.
So it becomes problematic that you're asking me to perform so that I can increase the amount of people willing to look at my site. Did you see how that's kind of a divergence for what my interests are? You see how this is difficult?
No, it's easy. All right, look, Let's be practical for a second, okay? Because you and I both got gray hair. In the older days, I grew up in Valdez, North Carolina, WSVM. I know that's probably heresy to say on WSIC. But if you were a small business, what did you do? You bought radio advertising. You bought advertising in the local newspaper, right? That was the world we lived in. Now the world we live in is far larger. And so we look at where are you likely going to be found? Now, this radio station has a great following in a geographic market, right? But we do videos all around the country. Right. So if I want to be found, what is the likelihood that they're going to find me? They're going to search, and if they search, it is going to be on a Google-related product. I just need to understand, how do I place, just like I would place radio ads or place advertisement in a newspaper.
Okay. I don't want to get in the weeds
here.
That's
fine.
But the video content is continuing to change.
It is.
Right? The landscape for business, what the viewer, can I call a YouTube person a viewer?
Sure.
What they're looking for is changing, right? Because what I'm seeing are people jumping around and acting silly with their moms, and I don't know how that's selling anything. Walk me through that.
Okay. Well, in reality, it may not be. In reality, what it may be doing is just attracting attention. And if your objective, okay, two different things, Joe, practically. If all my objective is to attract attention, and that sells ads on YouTube, and therefore YouTube pays me, what do I care? Because the model is YouTube paying me to be a platform for ads.
Got it.
We'll call that A. I don't really think much about that.
And so when I see that, that's what's happening.
Exactly.
That's not what you're describing for a business person.
That is correct.
Okay, got it. Got it. You helped me right there already. Okay.
For a business person, here's what the question is. What are people going to be searching? So if you help a small business sell their business when it's time for them to retire, the kids aren't interested, what are the 10 questions that those people ask? Because if Joe created a video and say, hey, are you thinking about selling your small business? Let's say you own a funeral home, your kids aren't interested. What do I need to do? Okay, there's 5 things. In this video, we're going to cover number 1, and you answer the question very quickly, and your video is 2.5 minutes. You know what? People who are thinking about selling a small business are going to find your content if you're consistently putting content there.
Okay, Chuck, you are a genius. You are the most spectacular man on the planet. Julie just told me on the book I now have 74 subscribers.
Yes, that is what I am talking about. And ladies and gentlemen, while we're here for an hour, our objective is to get Joe to 100.
Begging works.
Boom.
Okay.
You see the simplicity, Joe. You see it.
Okay. So, from my perspective, right, this whole new way of marketing requires somebody to help me. That's where Primo Production comes in, right? Because I don't need to know all this. If I call you, you can help me with this process, right? Because if not, I find myself sort of stymied by all of this. But clearly I can't afford to pay you for all of the videos necessary.
Oh,
correct?
Joe, you are hurting my heart. Of course you're going to afford to pay me. If you had more YouTube subscribers, you sure could.
Well, you just described about 100 videos that have to be made. I can't imagine I can afford to pay you for 100 videos.
Okay, look. So here's the thing. Let's make it really easy. There's 2 different things. Number 1, you can do it yourself, but most people procrastinate and don't. And therefore, they fail and think it doesn't work. Or you do go and say, I'm going to hire someone to do one of 2 things. Help me understand what questions are being asked so I know what videos to produce, or just hire us to do them for you. You do the video, but to understand what needs to be done so that it can be taken care of.
But doesn't professional production matter? Does it matter? Because some of the stuff I'm seeing, Chuck, there's no professional involved at all.
Depends on your market, and maybe we need to talk about that after the break.
Let's do that. Boy, you are a real professional.
Hey, man.
You're paying attention to Isaiah.
Small business matters.
Yeah. If it's Friday morning, I'm sipping on a cup of black powder coffee because it's delicious. We'll be right back.
Learn how to say delicious.
Well, just like everything on this show, it just happens. They laugh at it, and I keep doing it.
I got you.
Tell them the Your Business Matters story.
Yeah. The that tagline's been around for a long time for me, right? What happened was I was just starting the show. I had 3 guests at the same time, and the board operator was telling me things, and the show was ending, right? You know what I mean? And I can see it clicking down, and I knew it was a hard break, and I'm just looking around, and I said, "Your business matters." And they made fun of me about that, so I started saying, "Your business matters," and then it just stuck as the tagline.
And it needs to be like that.
That's right.
Right? Got it. Wow. Can't
Like everything
wait
on this
to
show,
come back.
it just happens, you know? I keep reminding people I'm a 10-year amateur at this, you know? Chuck says, yeah, I can tell. I can tell. Okay. So we got 74 subscribers, Chuck.
Ain't that something? Looky there.
I mean, bacon is the ticket.
I am telling you, if we could get 100 by the end of this hour, you know.
Well, I don't be getting carried away.
Oh, my goodness, that's only 26 more.
We just heard him say on Facebook, don't get carried away.
Don't get carried away.
Let's get 100 subscribers.
That's
Come on.
exactly. I mean, this is
100
not hard,
subscribers.
guys. Come on. You're on Facebook. Just go over, click a tab, add YouTube, look up Joe Vagnone.
Yeah.
Add him as a subscriber. You're going to appreciate. He's going to appreciate
Please.
it. Because his business matters.
Please subscribe.
Yeah, the miracle of being
Okay.
able to get communication out.
Okay, so we're going to stick with video production, okay?
Sure.
So we're going to move towards the technology of the video marketing, okay?
It's your world, buddy.
Because you are flippantly going past that you have information I don't have. Like, you know when your people want to watch your videos.
Yep.
How do you know that?
Okay, that'd be a good question.
Okay.
Yeah, because that way we can play with that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now that I have 74 people.
Hey, isn't there, help me with this, remind me, on radio there was a thing at one point called Arbitron, maybe? Something that would tell you when your listeners are listening.
Well, now, with our station, we just have Bobby out front. Tell them, honk your horn if you're listening.
Subscribe to Joe if you're listening. Now, if you only get 2 more subscribers, there's nobody listening to the show.
Yeah, WSIC, we just honk your horn if you're listening. We don't.
Now, I'm going to go down the road of. So in radio, you know when your listeners are listening. Well, okay, I got this. Oh, my goodness. What a fun thing.
You got a fan? Patrick Reynolds. I am a big fan of Chuck Gallagher.
Well, Patrick,
You got a
thank
fan.
you so. I'm so happy to have a fan.
You
That
got
is
it.
awesome, Patrick. You're the man.
Well, just so you know, I'm pretty sure Patrick is part of my fan club.
Oh, I see.
I mean,
I got you.
let me be clear.
Clearly started with you. I
Okay.
understand. Yes.
Okay,
yes.
but don't be taking him.
No.
Okay,
No.
we don't-
I'm a sharing kind of guy. Okay. I've already done my taking. Okay. I'm just saying. It didn't work so well.
My fan club is, I think, less than this is YouTube subscribers. I can't afford to lose one.
Now you're 73 subscribers.
Yeah, I think I just upset Pat. That's it. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. Julie on the book brings up a good point. My listeners are driving, so they can't get on the tubes to subscribe.
Oh my
That's-
goodness.
She's trying to
will
make me feel better, Isaiah.
we will talk to those folk. Yes. Take out your phone while you're driving. Go
What
to
she's trying to do is she's trying to bring me down so when we don't get to 100, I don't feel bad.
Yeah.
100. We're going for 100.
We're going for 100.
I want 100 subscribe. Please, you can unsubscribe tomorrow afternoon.
Oh, shut up.
10 seconds, 10 seconds, here we go.
Please. Oh, wait a minute. I got to figure this. listen to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Bagnone. I am here with my very good friend, whether he will admit it or not. He also is a business ethic expert, keynote speaker, consultant, author, and he is the managing partner of Primo Productions, a world-renowned video production and marketing company producing video content throughout the world. My friend Chuck Gallagher, thank you so much for being here.
It is a pleasure.
So we were picking on me.
Yes, we were.
You were picking on me about my YouTube channel and my official 74 subscribers.
Right, which we need to get to 100.
We want to get to 100
exactly
subscribers.
Sounds like a radiothon, right?
That's right. That's right. And I asked you a question because you flippantly jumped over it last segment. You said, I know who my people are. I know when they want to listen to me. Kind of like, they want to have lunch at 1 o'clock. Well, how do you know that?
Okay.
Because I don't know that.
All right. So, Joe, let's put it in perspective you can understand. In radio...
Is that possible?
I'm not going to answer that question.
The hesitation, Isaiah, bothered me.
I am not going to answer that question. But think about it. In radio, most anybody that owns a radio station has an idea of when their listeners are listening, right? So if you're on YouTube, you're going to find out when your viewers are viewing. Now, there are programs that are out there, vidIQ, TubeBuddy. There's a multitude of analytic programs that exist that anybody can take advantage of or subscribe to, but it's going to give you information that will make it light years easier for you to make your channel work. Now, you said to me, well, you've got 1,000 subscribers. I corrected you to say 6,000, which in the big scheme
you
of
hear
things...
that, Isaiah? 6,000.
Yeah, that seems
We ain't talking
big.
to just anybody.
Yeah.
6,000.
Yeah, right.
Okay, go on.
Seems significant until you have 500,000, and then I'm a tick on it.
It does seem significant, Chuck,
right.
yes.
And we want you to be at 100. But the point becomes, all I did was use the analytics that are available to help me grow the channel. When are they viewing? What questions are they asking? If somebody's asking a question, Chuck wants to answer the question. So if they're asking a question about video production, I'm just looking and seeing what questions are being asked and creating videos to answer those questions. Because that means people are going to find the videos, therefore they will find me.
Got it. Okay. So how do I make sure the content is connecting? That is where a professional production company is very helpful, because I've learned over the years content really does matter, and the delivery really does matter.
It does. And just like here in radio, where you and I are sitting back chatting and laughing and having a good time, if there is not something that is stimulating to the audience, now in video, it's visually stimulating or auditorially stimulating, but if something's not happening that's keeping them engaged, they will turn it off. The average video gets watched 31 seconds.
Really?
And they're out. So there's got to be...
I thought I was the only one that got bored quickly.
Oh, no. You don't even get bored compared to most people. Because you're not boring, but...
right.
But yeah, if you're producing video, what are you doing? You are really looking for what is the audience looking for, and how do I keep them attached to want to continue to watch the video to get the message that I'm trying to deliver.
Gosh, 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Wow.
Yep.
So do I have to deliver the entire content in 30 seconds?
Nope. But
I just got to attract them enough that they want to keep listening.
That's exactly right.
Exactly.
If you had 3 things you wanted to share, you're going to say, okay, there's 3 things I want to share. Now, you need to stay tuned, because the third one, that'll be toward the end of the video, and you won't want to miss that, because that's the key. Well, now you've set them up to wonder, what is that third thing Joe's going to say, so that they will watch your 2-minute video instead of cutting you off in 30 seconds.
Just so you know, Richard is listening. He helps me with my social media. He said, looks like my job just got a whole lot harder.
Yeah, Richard, you need to get him to 100, okay?
100, Richard. 100. Richard, call your mama. Call your sister. So I I've shared through my newsletter for months now, probably over a year, videos that Steve Gilliland has done that are phenomenal.
Yes.
They tell stories.
Yes.
You helped him create those. They're just exceptional. Now, listen, Steve is a true professional. You understand, right? And I don't know too many people that could tell a story like Steve Gilliland could tell a story. But his motivational bites, which you produced for him, are just unbelievably compelling and inspiring and engaging, right? What role does storytelling play as I'm trying to produce these videos that you're talking about?
Okay. Story always sells. Now, Steve is a master storyteller. Probably one of the best keynote speakers I've ever heard, master storyteller. So let me give all the credit in the world to Steve creating the story. The issue on video is we've got to do something that visually will bring that to life. So Steve tells the story. Our job is to hear what he's saying and then provide visual stimulation, because every 3 to 7 seconds, something has to change on video to keep people stimulated.
Say that again.
Every 3 to 7 seconds, something has to change to keep people attuned to video.
I did not know that. Okay, now, what are if you know, I know you're not an attorney, but you certainly have been around the law enough.
Oh, yes, I have. I have hired attorneys.
That's right.
I am not an attorney.
What legal and ethical considerations are there for all these videos that I'm creating? What if I say something that maybe isn't accurate? Or, I've been known for a little puffery. I am a broker. I do sell things. So Judge Judy calls it puffery. Are there some legal concerns?
Puffery, yes.
Puffery.
Yes.
Is there some legal concerns I need to be thinking about?
Well, probably a couple of things, but different than what you might think. I want to be concerned with, if I'm sharing information, I generally will couch it in the form of this is my opinion, or it appears, so that it is not absolute in what I'm sharing. If I'm, for example, in the financial services industry, I'm going to be careful not to offer financial advice and violate some requirement that would cost me my license. Okay? I might talk about the ideas of what people might choose to do from a financial perspective that would be positive, but I'm not going to offer specific advice. Outside of that, the biggest thing is, especially in video, is making sure you're not taking other people's stuff. Because people are just notorious for, oh my gosh, I found this over here, or here's this song I want to play. And the next thing you know, you're taking somebody's copyrighted song or an image from them that Getty Images owns or something. And in today's world, you'll get busted for that.
Whoa, slow. Bring it back.
Okay.
I took first of all, I'm going to pat
careful.
myself on the back here.
Okay.
I took, and Julie took, a certification course at Harvard.
Oh.
I did say Harvard.
You did.
Okay. For negotiation and dispute resolution. Clearly, you can see the benefit it would have for my business, right?
Absolutely.
So there are a lot of things they taught me and the information they gave me I would like to share. Are you suggesting I can't share that information? Because now it's part of my system and process, right, that I use as a brokerage.
Yeah.
Where's the line drawn?
I'm not saying you can't share the information you learn, but I am saying that if I'm sitting here and I want to create I'm going to make it easy for me, but I want to create a video and let's say because of my past experience, I start out with the song Bad Boys, What You Gonna Do? If I take that song, I am now using someone's copyrighted material. So I have to be conscious of, I'm not going to steal someone else's copyrighted material, because there's been 2 recent Supreme Court cases which people got busted for that big time.
So let's move on. What does a video production company, marketing company do? Like, what is the primary function of Primo Productions?
Well, actually, it's really simple. It's kind of like what you do when you help businesses, buy and sell. Our job is to take a business and help them understand how does your business use video to grow your business? Because 88%, according to stats, people will view videos more than they're going to read a website or read content. So how do I tap into video to advance my business? That's our number one job.
So I did a little bit of research. I did research, Chuck, before. I decided to interview you.
That's impressive.
I was surprised to hear there is production demonstration videos, product demonstration videos, testimonial videos, educational videos, tutorial videos, behind the scenes videos, which, by the way, I want to know what that is. I don't know exactly what that is. Event coverage videos, utilize videos for interviews and Q&A sessions, which is what we're doing here.
Right.
Which is why you agreed to come. That's the only way I got you
Well,
here.
plus the fact that there's a great poster, right?
That's
Okay,
right.
I'm just saying.
But the point that I'm making is I had no idea there's so many different ways and methods to get value from what potentially could be the same video, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, here's the thing. If you sat down and you took that list, man, I am impressed with the research that you
There
did.
you
Joe,
go.
dude, I bet that's going to get you a few more subscribers. But here's
100. We're after 100.
Exactly. But here's the deal. You look at all of those options, and the question any business owner would ask is, which of those am I doing? And if the answer is some or none, then wake up.
Okay, let's take a break. When we come back, I got a couple more questions on videos, and then we're going to move on because, for a man with gray hair, you really do keep up with modern day stuff. We're going to talk a little bit about AI.
Sounds good.
You are listening to Local Biz Now. If it's Friday morning, say it, Chuck. Say it, say it.
Your business matters.
Yeah, we'll be right back. That would not say that.
Why?
It was fun.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, people were like flipping out. Why won't she say it? She needs to say it. And she would say things like, Joe's bothering me, or,
Really?
I got a headache, or, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
that's funny.
It was really funny. But I was surprised how many people were bothered that she wouldn't say
No,
your
that's
business matters. And
funny.
then we had her husband come in at the last day, and then he started saying it.
Oh, that's good. That is really good.
But we don't think too much about her because she's a woman that said I rub her like sandpaper. And then, oh yeah,
No.
yeah, Cully, yeah. She said I rub her like sandpaper. Then she came in last month and she was so happy to say I no longer rub her like sandpaper.
Oh, really?
Okay. It's now I'm kind of like a wart. I'm asking you, Chuck. Is a wart better than sandpaper?
I don't know. I think I like sandpaper better. A wart? I mean, the visual imagery of that. It's like,
So Isaiah, she insulted me right in front of me, and I smiled about it and said thank you.
yeah. What's
You
wrong
did-
with that?
Isaiah did not protect me at all. He didn't correct it, nothing.
I mean,
Isaiah, you the worst board operator in the world. Letting Colin call me. He said, yeah.
I can't believe you didn't say your business doesn't matter.
Oh, unbelievable. So anyways, it's just a thing. It's a show thing.
All right, so we need to find out from Julie if you're up beyond 74. It'd be sad if we had pitched this all this time and we ain't got to 75.
Well. Okay, if you're on the book, that means you're already on the computer, right?
Exactly.
2 little clicks.
It's a simple thing.
Joe Vagnone, business broker.
Boom. Yeah. Subscribe. Yeah. Give the man some love.
Can I send him something like a thank you?
You
or
can
something?
do anything you want. I mean, I would
can I send
definitely
him
show him
something?
some love.
I got an entire room full of my books. Can I send?
You can send him a book or at least a digital poster. Okay, I'm saying.
Hey, I'll tell you what. If we get to 100, the 100th subscriber, I'm going to give him this poster.
Oh,
100
man.
subscriber
You know
gets
now
this
people are
poster.
they're gonna be waiting.
I'm messed up now. I'm never going to get to it.
You are in such trouble, boy.
Oh, you need some kind of incentive. The poster. I mean, you'd be the only person
10
to have
seconds.
a poster.
10 seconds.
Are we live? Here we go. And you are listening to Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone. This is News Talk WSIC 105.9 FM, 100.7 FM, 1400 AM. I am Joe Vagnone. And if it's Friday morning, your business matters. And I'm here with Chuck Gallagher. He is a friend and by far one of the most outstanding, world-renowned video production and marketing company owners in the entire country. Chuck, thank you so much for doing that, buddy. I appreciate it.
It is a pleasure being here.
We've been talking about videos. We've been talking about YouTube and the importance of video and marketing and that sort of stuff. You're not saying it because you own a production company. You're saying it because you own a production company, you just know this is where the future's headed. Am I correct? I mean, it's just headed.
It is
in
the
video.
future. It is the future when people are sitting there with their phones looking at video, which is why the mobile device is designed as it is. That is where you are found, and that is where you grow and expand business dramatically.
So can you give me an idea of like a successful social media video campaign? Like give me an idea. If I'm a small business person and I'm still kind of missing how this works for me, can you give me an idea of what a successful video campaign looks like?
Okay, let me give you a quick example. Let's say I'm a realtor in Greenville, South Carolina, my hometown, and there's 750 realtors there. And everybody knows that, the person that gets the listing gets a certain amount and the seller gets a certain amount. And let's say I want the listings, but there's a bunch of people out there. If I said, I wonder what people are asking when they list their house. What are the questions? And then I create a video, and every day, I know that sounds like a lot, but think about it. Every day, I'm answering questions that people have. What's going to happen? Gee, I want to list my house. I go to YouTube and ask the question, what do I need to do to list my house? And all of a sudden, all you see is Chuck's videos. I have just catapulted myself above other realtors. It doesn't mean I'm better. It means I have used the marketing medium to be found better and quicker, and which means I will get more than my share of the listings, which is the small business win.
Got it. Okay, so I want to move on.
Yep.
But before we do that, so help me help the poor man or woman getting started, okay?
Yep.
Can you provide a few tips on how a small business person can create some quality videos in a budget, right? So that because we all have these limited resources, whether it's knowledge, whether it's the equipment necessary, whatever the resource limit that it is, give me some tips on how we can get started.
Okay, it's really simple. Do you have an iPhone? If you've got an iPhone, that's all you need. I know it sounds as bizarre as it can be. I own a video production company. I've got an iPhone 14 Pro Max. I can't spit it out. You think I was a speaker, right? All of the videos I do on YouTube are shot on my iPhone. I have no additional microphone. I have an iPhone. That's it. It's simple. It's easy. It is not hard to get into the business.
You know, it's interesting that you say that because I've been told for years that these phones have some of the best cameras you could buy in them already.
Absolutely. I'll take an iPhone 14 Pro Max against some of the $10,000 cameras I've got in the studio. If it weren't for the fact that the other cameras were sexy and look good, I shoot everything with iPhones because they're that good.
Wow, that's remarkable.
Now, I hope Apple will reward me with that.
Well, if you add this video to your,
I'm going to send it to the business people at Apple and see what they say.
We don't have a lot of time. Let's dig into something that you introduced me to. And again, this is part of the Chuck Gallagher that I love because you're constantly evolving and constantly learning. And you're the one that taught me what AI was all about and how it can actually affect and work for my business today.
Yes,
so
sir.
Let's talk about some of that. What is AI really?
Okay, artificial intelligence. Everybody's hearing about it. If you went back to last October or September and somebody said Chat GPT, nobody would have a clue what you're talking about. Now everybody's heard it, especially in business. But here's the thing. AI is a tool. Some people think it's the bane of society. It's, oh my God, it's going to be terrible. But the reality is it is nothing more than a tool that speeds up the process of being able to create content. And he or she who creates content and feeds the beast, Google and YouTube, giving them content, but he or she who does that wins.
And it's amazing that you just said that because it's one of the biggest challenges I had about 5 years ago trying to start a website, trying to start this whole social media concept, and I had to hire somebody to help with content, especially because of the way I spell. And now I can just go to the Terminator and he'll be able to produce that information for me in seconds.
Absolutely. I mean, the simple thing is, if I said, gee, I want to know what the top 25 questions are that people ask about video production or listing a house or whatever your topic is, go to ChatGPT and ask it. It'll tell you what the 25 questions are and then say, now write me a script to answer those questions, and it will write your script for you. It's not hard to be able to create content today when you have tools available at your fingertips that will do it for you.
It is amazing how it's been so helpful for me. I'll tell you a quick story. You know, I write nothing without getting my wife's approval. Now that you taught me about the Terminator, I told my wife she's obsolete.
Oh,
I don't need her anymore.
Joe, that was not smart.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Yeah.
I should have. I should.
That's another radio show. We need to talk.
So give me some of the challenges that go with a guy like Joe going to the Terminator, asking it a question, or asking it to rewrite something that I have written and perfected it.
Okay, so here's the thing. It is great in writing content or rewriting content or helping you understand something, but it is not good when you're asking it for facts. I'll give you a quick example. The other day I said, okay, I want to get 5 articles published in national magazines on preventing fraud. And it gave me this beautiful list. And I thought, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. And then I went to Google to look it up. Didn't exist. They didn't exist. So the cool part about AI is it is very creative.
Lies.
It lies. But it's
AI is a liar.
So, wow, man, you just killed the whole thing. All right, here's the deal. It is great for creative, but you do have to check the facts just to make sure that it has not gotten overly creative. It will improve over time. Joe, it's 2023. Imagine in 2025 or 2030 what this is going to be like, because today we're at the infancy of this.
Right. It really is amazing. So share some success stories that you've had using AI in your business.
Okay, well, number one, it helps me create content. It helps me find the questions that people are asking. It helps me do that and make sure that the terms are search engine optimized. Everybody hears about SEO. And therefore, I can create content much more quickly. I started December the 28th drinking my own Kool-Aid, okay, to advance my YouTube channel. I had a little over 1,000 subscribers. Now I've got a little over 6,000 subscribers. And most of the content, I let AI write the initial iteration, and then I'll go in and check it and chuck-eyes it. So it becomes my content,
right,
but I don't have to sit down and think about, gosh, what am I going to say or to start with?
So one of the things that I recognized when I started using the Terminator is that, you know, this information is, it's only based on what the Terminator already knows.
Correct.
So sometimes it's not current data, it's yesterday's data. Are you finding that to be the case, or it's very general, it's not specific?
It's general and not specific, but here's a different approach to it. Find something that is current. I'll give you a quick example. Harvard Business Review just came out with a great article, and I was like, wow, that's an awesome article. I want to write a blog about it. I want to truncate it. I want to just
summarize it. That's my alma mater,
it.
Just so you know.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right. I remember Harvard. But all I had to do is copy that, put it into AI, and say, okay, now summarize it for me. So here's the thing. It is current, as good as the data you're putting in.
Got it. Buddy, we've only got about a minute left, my friend. What do you want to tell people that are listening, whether it's video production or AI? Because the future is what we make of it intentionally, and you seem to do a great job of that, my friend.
Okay, so here's the thing. If I'm a small business owner, the 2 things that I want to know is, number 1, how can I make AI work for me? And most importantly, how can I tap into the value of video, which is available for free?
Thanks, Chuck. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
ChuckGallagher.com. Chuck Gallagher is the man. Please go to his website. Go to his YouTube channel as well. You are listening to Local Biz Now. If it's Friday morning, say it, Chuck. Say it.
Your business matters.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.